This is our negative space drawing project. So you're going to want to find a plant. I have the fake ones and I have the ones all around my room. But you want to find ones like this, which have a lot of interesting negative spaces within the subject. So it's not just like a silhouette. So really try to find something interesting to look at. And then next, you're going to want to try to find a viewfinder. So these are the gray ones, are the ones I've bought that were pre-made. And you want to kind of frame up what you're looking at, so it kind of focuses you on what you're trying to see, and it really helps you draw. So I also made some out of paper for you. So you don't have to draw the whole plant. You can just get really close and then make a really interesting composition and use that as a guide to outline your negative spaces. So think of it as the frame of your paper. So when you get ready, you also, if you can find a clipboard or a drawing board, you want to draw upright because you're looking at your subject upright, and that will help eliminate distortion. You also want to measure. So as you start drawing, you want to focus on the shapes of the negative spaces. Try not to think about the subject itself. What are the spaces between and around the subject? So this is where using that viewfinder comes in handy, because it already gives you that frame and it focuses what you're looking at instead of looking at everything that's in front of you, because you saw all that mess that's behind my plant, right? So as I'm looking at it, I'm looking at what type of shape is it? Is it organic? Since it's a plant, most of these shapes are going to be organic. Are there edges? Are there curves? So I'm kind of looking at it like a puzzle. What does this puzzle piece look like? And I'm drawing a little bit darker than I normally would just so you can see it. And I'm going right up to the edge. And I'm taking my time and I'm trying to get it as perfect as possible. So what does this edge look like? What does this edge look like? So this looks like a wavy triangle. This looks like an oval. This is kind of a blobby shape. So in my head, I'm kind of talking to myself and thinking about what type of shapes these make and where do things line up. And it might not be absolutely perfect, and that's fine, but if you're really, really focusing on it, you're going to be really surprised at how accurate it is. Because remember, once we get into drawing just from observation, drawing these spaces correctly is the key to making things look in correct proportion. So there's a stem there, so that would be the positive. So I'm trying to go around and figure out what is that shape of that negative space. It kind of makes a U, it comes down. So I'm looking at what are the in-between spaces of all those leaves. And I'm just taking my time. If I need to adjust, I adjust. And that's also a good thing. If you draw lightly, then you can always fix it later. But you don't see it in here because I'm drawing flat, because that's how I have to record it. But using that viewfinder, holding it up, drawing, making sure you're holding it up in the same space, and really looking at the edge of the viewfinder and where does the edge meet on your paper. That is so helpful to getting an accurate drawing. And then once you've used that a lot, then you can take those training wheels off and you'll be able to do it without the viewfinder. But I highly suggest using the viewfinder first. So this is in between some of the stems. So I'm thinking about what are the shapes around the stem, not necessarily the stem. And then for the rest of this drawing, I'm going to speed up the video a little bit. And then we'll get to the design. All right, so now that I have my design correct, looks pretty good, I'm going to add a design in the negative space. You can do whatever design you want. I just kind of just did some stripes with contrasting colors. You can actually draw a picture in the background. You can do check marks. You can do a Zentangle type design, spirals. I don't want you just to color it one flat thing. I do want it to be a design. So if you need help figuring out a design, you could Google designs, line designs, or just ask me in class. I can give you some suggestions. But you want to use maybe markers. Color pencils might take a little longer, so I would suggest markers or something like that, which will take a little bit less time. Unless you want to be an expert and use color pencils, you're more than welcome to. All right, so once you get done with your design, you're going to have this really amazing looking negative space drawing. We're going to put it on black paper and hang it up. I can't wait to see what you do. Good job.